Hi there, and thanks for tuning in. This is a weekly forecast. So my name is Shannon Hugman. I'm going to be talking about which way the cosmic currents are flowing for this week, which is March 26, 2018. So if you don't know me, thanks for being here. Welcome. If you're watching live, feel free to pop something in the chat and let me know you're here. But also feel free to comment if you are watching the recording or the replay from any time from now. I always pop in and read the comments. So let the comments, let the chat be your place where you feel like you can raise your hand, where you can ask questions. So if you have questions about anything that I'm talking about, anything that I'm sharing, please feel free to put your comments, questions, even concerns in the comment bar. So before I begin, I like to say that I don't believe that the planets are doing anything to us. Instead, they're currents of energy that flow around us. And when we know which way the current is flowing, we can use our free will. That's the key word there. We all have free will. We can choose how to use our free will. We can make an educated decision. We can have a little bit of a map for the trail. And so that's what my intention is coming here today, is to give you a little bit of a heads up, a little bit of a map for how you can navigate the energies this week. But that being said, it comes down to all of us to make choices. So this is not about predicting the future, predicting our week, but about how can we work with it? How can we move with it? So it's a lot of creative energy starting off Monday and Tuesday. This is a great time to just have fun, to play, to not stay in rigid expectations for ourselves or rigid schedules, but instead be open to flow. The beginning of the week is a great time to just embody a little childlike attitude, who, if they want to go out and play in the sunshine, then go out and play in the sunshine. If you want to have ice cream for breakfast, it's not a big deal. Have ice cream for breakfast. So the beginning of the week is a time to really have fun, to live lightly, to shake it off. And if you can, just maybe put your responsibilities, push them back, call in sick, procrastinate a little bit, push the responsibilities till midweek, because it'll be easier to do them that way. On Wednesday, we have a pretty big alignment, which is with the planet Venus and the planet Uranus. So this happens about once a year when these two planets come together. Now, this is all happening in the sign of Aries, which is about individuality, but it's interesting because Venus is also about relationships. And Uranus always wants to shake it up and bring innovation, even revolution sometimes. So this is a week, again, this is going to climax on Wednesday, but we're going to feel it leading up, and we're going to feel it after, of wanting to break out of old relationship cycles, or cycles that leave us feeling like our individuality is compromised. This is really very much a time where maybe for a long time, and this is relationships, but also our relationship to life, our relationship to like anything. It could be our relationship to food, or our relationship to a family member, or our relationship to our bank account. This isn't specific to romantic relationships, although it absolutely does include that. But this is a time where if there's been relationship dynamics that have felt off, or have felt, I could use the word wrong, or in a way where we're compromising what we want as individuals. We all, like I said, have free will. We get to choose how we move forward. But a lot of the time in our world, we're going to choose how we move forward. We're going to choose how we use our free will dependent on our relationship to something else. So maybe I'm going to go to the party if you're going to come with me, or I'm going to launch the website if my bank account's okay, or, I would wear pink, but my spouse doesn't like it. I would wear perfume, but my dad doesn't let me. So there's all these things of what we want to do, and then we have the buts of why we wouldn't. Hi, Laura. Thanks for being here. And this is a week where those buts, those reasons, those excuses we make for not following our own individuality, or our own free will, or our own, what we want. This is a week of being selfish, of being full of ourselves. Because if we're not full of ourselves, who are we filled up with? Probably everybody else, society, all these things. So this is a week where being selfless, putting others' needs before ours, really sacrificing our own personal desires, it's not going to be, it could work, but it's not going to be the most efficient thing. So this is a week of really stepping into what I want, what, again, you're asking yourself that, not what I want, what we want, and really taking a look at why aren't we doing it? And if it's because of somebody else or because of our relationship to somebody else, it's not so much that we have to figure out how to change that. It's not so much that we have to run away from that person or cancel the relationship or break up or anything, but we can realize that the forces of Uranus, which like to stir it up, which like to bring revolution and change, which we are so scared of sometimes as individuals, that energy is really working. So this isn't a week to, you know, if we try to grab things and we try to force things and we try to make things happen the way we want them to, it's going to be like grabbing a hot pot. It's going to burn our hands. But instead we can say, oh, that's hot. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I really care about that. Oh, and just sort of notice these things and know that over the course of the next week, the course of the next month, we're gonna really change them and work through them. Mercury is still retrograde, so again, more of this invitation to not necessarily force our agendas, make it all happen ourselves, but instead say, hey, wait a minute, this is more of a week of noticing, but especially noticing where do we hold ourselves back because of a belief of someone else, where is someone else holding us back, and realizing that we can't live our lives for someone else anymore, or something else. Instead, it's really reconnecting to wholeheartedly what we want, who we are, and kind of clicking in those gears of being full of ourselves, being selfish. Even though that gets a bad rap in society, it's kind of mandatory right now. So there we go. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining in the chat. It's awesome to see you all here. Hi, Tammy. Yeah, so there you go. There's your weekly forecast. I'm Shannon Hugman. You can always book one-to-one sessions with me at shannonhugman.com. Check out my online courses where you can learn to do readings like this yourself. And I think that's about it. So if you have any questions, comments, again, even concerns, feel free to throw them in the comments. And I always like to read the comments and I'll get back to you all. So, oh, and the other invitation I wanted to say is if you are on Instagram, please come follow me, Shannon Hugman on Instagram. I do little things like this pretty much every day. So I'm not popping too often here on Facebook. I'm just doing this like weekly one. So I'll see you next week. But on Instagram, I'm there a lot more. So if you miss me, if you want to see more of me, come on over to Instagram. Sending you all, you know, a lot of courage, because that's the other thing I should add. These things that I'm saying about really being ourselves and choosing what we want, that takes courage. So be gentle with ourselves, but also know that some courage and some strength and bravery is coming online. So without further ado, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.